Former Vanderbilt's star wide receiver Will Sheppard entered the transfer portal on December the 3rd. Then he decided to commit to Coach Prime Colorado Buffaloes on December 14th, just a few weeks later. But how good is Will Sheppard? Is he really good, or is that hype? We're going to talk about that in this video, so let's get to it.
We go down in the motherfucking Jamaica, man. I'm down here jet ski, chilling, living good, living motherfucking good. Eating good, drinking good. Jamaica, smoking the bleed right by the beach. To escape the probation, I need a pinch of peaches.
Once again, as I said before, we all know how great and talented that wide receiver room is for Coach Prime Colorado Buffaloes. I'm not finna sit here and order anything around Will Sheppard as far as this roster go. I would be sitting here all day trying to figure it out. And it's a good Sunday, man. I'm enjoying my Sunday, just giving you guys some content in my personal opinion and giving you guys how I personally feel as a former wide receiver of what Will Sheppard values to this offense. And so maybe another day I will order the wide receiver room. But right now, no, because it's easily the best wide receiver room in the nation, in my personal opinion. And I'll be all day explaining that to you guys. Anyway, fast forward. Will Sheppard played at Vanderbilt in the SEC, one of the greatest conferences as far as defensively in football. So he was able to still produce at a very high level. Despite the lack of production at the quarterback position, Will Sheppard was still able to have some success at Vanderbilt for what he was given. Reminds me a lot of Xavier Weaver. Xavier Weaver didn't really have a very good offensive line for Colorado, but he still was able to put up some good numbers. But if he would have had a better offensive line, Xavier Weaver's numbers would have been a lot better than what it is. And it reminds me of Will Sheppard's situation, but a little bit different as far as Will Sheppard needed a quarterback, but he was still able to do what he had to do in the SEC. And once again, as I said before, the SEC is filled with defense. They play defense amongst any conference in football, and Will Sheppard was still able to have some success. 47 receptions, 684 yards, 8 touchdowns. He also recorded 14.8 yards per catch. Definitely is a guy that can stretch the football field. He also can catch in traffic. He can get upfield. He actually has some numbers very unique and similar to Xavier Weaver, as you guys can see on the screen. Entering week 3, he was top 25 amongst all wide receivers, right behind Xavier Weaver. On top of that, he was also top 5 as far as SEC receiving yards at 574, and his touchdowns, which was at 8, was also top 5, top 6. This is the type of production you can get from a very good pure wide receiver, a wide receiver that can make nothing out of something. Those are the type of guys you need on your football team. And I'm telling you guys right now, he's going to add size to this offense. He's going to add some speed as well, some physicality, as you guys can see him catching in traffic, him willing to block. A lot of times in this generation right now, it's very hard of finding wide receivers that can get up and block. You know what I'm saying? And that's very important. It speaks a lot about his unselfishness with a wide receiver being willing to block during the run game. A lot of times you see wide receivers, when it's not thrown to them, they kind of jog around. They like just run around, you know, just kind of going through the motion. You don't see that with Will Sheppard. Will Sheppard goes 150% every single time. Definitely one of my favorite wide receivers for the fall camp. And as I said before, and I told you guys, I'm not going to order wide receivers as far as Colorado's roster because there's so many wide receivers and I would be all day. But I can tell you guys right now, Colorado will have a lot of fun with these wide receivers. I do feel like Will Sheppard will be what we call a X wide receiver. For my viewers that's learning as we go, the X wide receiver is specifically the number one guy that's on the outside, on the top of the numbers. He will be the guy on the outside by himself. You may have somebody do everything he has to do as far as his system to make sure all of these guys can be great at what they do. Because as I said before, all of these guys are unique and different in their own way. But I just wanted to kind of give you guys my personal opinion as far as Will Sheppard. I think he's a great route runner as well. Very underrated. Amari and Miller that run great routes. And so I think it's going to be very hard to be able to have somebody in the red zone will be key for this offense. Drop a comment and let me know how you guys feel. And if you guys like the video, definitely subscribe to the channel. Peace.